My friends, the time is now. It's time to send some gifts to some people, random supporters who have been supporting the channel and keeping up with the content. I really appreciate that. If you guys want a chance to win a free skin and get gifted, obviously I've got to be your friend for 2 full days before I can do it. So send me a friend request. I'm randomly accepting them. You can see my epic name there. It's Pineapplez YT. So what I've done is I've accepted a lot of random friend requests, and I'm going to just randomly pick some and start sending them a gift. Let's take a look at what's currently in the item shop. Right now you've got the Spider Knight and the Rabbit Raider, as well as the Arachne, which is the female Spider Knight, and the Bunny Brawler. You've also got a pretty sick emote, Drop the Base. I can only send 3 separate gifts daily, and I've got 5k V-Bucks, so I'm going to try to send some people some cool skins. So the Rabbit Raider, buy as a gift. Who would want this? Let's see, who would want this? Let's say Anna North 7. Have fun with the gift. And there we go. We just sent the gift. And now it's official. All gifts were delivered successfully. What about the Spider Knight? I wonder who would want the Spider Knight. Let's go buy as a gift. And let's send it to Aaron Bridges YT. And there we go. All gifts sent successfully. That's 2 down. We still have 1,500 V-Bucks. Here's the Bunny Brawler. Buy as a gift. Let's send it to Mooncat Lord YT. And there we go. Those are 3 separate gifts. I just ran out of all my V-Bucks. I'm going to keep doing this. If you guys like what I'm doing with showing it in the video, be sure to drop a like. If this gets a ton of likes, I'll know you guys really enjoy this and I'll keep doing it. But nonetheless, if you want a chance to win a gift in the future, send me a friend request, Pineapplez YT. Hey, what's up guys? I'm Dr. P and welcome back today for another Fortnite video. Now in today's video, I want to look at the iceberg out at sea right now. It's gotten a lot bigger. There are a lot of new updates I want to share with you. We got a lot to get into, so let's go ahead and do it. If you guys could do me a favor and drop a like, I'd really appreciate that. Make sure to subscribe also if this is your first time watching the channel. I'm uploading daily Fortnite videos covering the storyline, news, information, and so much more. So obviously we know there's an iceberg in the game's coding. That much is very obvious, but recently, earlier this morning, I saw a lot of people doing a technique in replay mode to be able to actually follow the camera out past the cloud and get behind it and get a great view of the iceberg. So it's officially there, like it's actually in the game. The gameplay you're about to see is courtesy of users Jonathan and Pineapplez. And essentially what you can see is they did the technique to be able to get out here. You can see a bunch of different icebergs, many icebergs around the main one. And then the main one, you can see the little castle hut that we've been talking about. It's very small. It's on the top. It's a lot smaller than I thought. When I saw there was going to be a castle associated with this iceberg, I thought there would be a big castle. And there still could be. I wonder if this is the only part of the castle showing up, and maybe there's a whole bunch of it underneath. What we can actually see beneath the surface, that's a possibility. But man, it's crazy to get an inside up close look at what the iceberg is, how big it is, you know, just to get some reference. Here's another screenshot courtesy of Fort Tory with a character skidding across the ocean with the iceberg in the background. It's massive. And that's why I'm kind of confused as to why there's such a tiny little hut up there on the iceberg. And I think there's a lot more to it than what meets the eye. Obviously, it's a big event. This iceberg is the same thing as the comet. It's just constantly getting closer to the map. And we've been there before. We know this is probably a lot bigger than it seems with that tiny hut. It's going to play a big deal for the storyline, I can almost assure you. Remember back a while ago when we all figured out that if you look inside of particular rifts in the game, you could see what appeared to be an ice castle, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys remember that. That was the main theory. It looked a lot like a castle. It was for sure snowing though. So I wonder if that was actually, the more we get closer and closer to realizing what's going on, if that was actually a straight up look into the future through the rift. I mean, we all know they're trying to develop the rift technology underneath Wailing Woods, and it looks like they're doing so, and I wonder if they accurately portrayed the future. I mean, I don't know if it's a coincidence that we think we see an ice castle, and then all of a sudden, the big part of the end of this season and the start of Season 7 is, sure enough, an ice castle, at least what it looks like, floating in on an iceberg. Now, granted, I know it doesn't look like a big castle, that's why I'm kind of confused. It's just a tiny hut, but I truly believe maybe the iceberg will melt down, possibly revealing more of the castle, because it seems strange that it would be just at the top, and this is not an uncommon thing for people to do. A lot of times when people are, archaeologists, they're looking for signs of life. Oftentimes, things sticking out of the ground, especially if it was a long time ago, can signal there's a lot more underneath. And that's what I think we're getting here. I think there's a good chance there's more stuff underneath the iceberg, underneath what we can see and what meets the eye. So now that we know the iceberg is for sure a thing, and we know just to what extent it is, in terms of size, it's massive. It is huge. Literally, I was not expecting it to be that big. I knew it was big, but I didn't know it was going to be that massive. So anyway, now that we know it is approaching the island at a pretty rapid pace, the question is, what is it going to do when it gets here? Well, I've seen a lot of people say it's just going to kind of crash into the side of the island and create a new playable area. There are two most likely candidates for where it could crash and for where this could happen. On the southwestern side of the map, there's a big open area, which looks like they could have a lot more land attached to it, so that's definitely a candidate. And also right here, kind of also in the southwestern corner, but more towards the south, there's a pretty wide open area that could be extended if the iceberg were to hit, and quite frankly, that's the exact area, I think, if this were to keep going straight, where it would head. So let me know what you guys think. Where would you guys like to see maybe a winter biome added? That kind of makes the most sense, but also there's the problem of the iceberg melting. But I also think that would be good for, Fortnite for an evolving kind of map over time. They've done this before. If the iceberg just melted a little bit with every single update, revealing more and more of the castle underneath, that would also give fans a lot of variety and allows for new areas to be explored. Even though it's not technically a new area, if more stuff gets melted and more stuff gets revealed, over time, it would be almost like playing in a new area, which I am all for. I went to replay mode myself and I just zoomed in on the storm. Obviously, you can't really see the iceberg from this angle, but rest assured it is behind there. But if you go to theater mode and you look at this stuff, it's actually animated pretty heavily at this point. The storm clouds are moving like crazy, and you can even see all of the little mini icebergs. It's pretty interesting how they keep adding this stuff and the storm just keeps getting bigger. The icebergs just keep getting closer. I wonder when we're actually going to start seeing effects. We can see it right now, but at what point is it going to start impacting the map? I wonder if we're going to have to wait all the way for the end of the season for that to happen, or maybe, it'll start snowing a little bit soon. Maybe there will be SOS warnings on the TV like we had for the rocket launch and the comet. I do know there's actually one thing going on in the game right now that is allowing us to see effects of the oncoming iceberg and storm. If you're on the spawn island, which is of course closer to the storm than when you're actually on the main Fortnite island, and you do the new emote, the Hot Marat emote, which, was the free one in the store a couple days ago for the Wreck-It Ralph promotion. If you do that emote on the spawn island, you actually see your breath. Like, you can see that it's very cold because your character's breath is able to be seen. So clearly, we're seeing effects already. I wonder when it's going to take it up a notch and actually, when we're going to see something big. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you watched all the way to the end of the video, comment down below just the word iceberg to let me know you stuck around all the way till the end. If you're not following me on Twitter, you should definitely be doing so. I'm always tweeting out Fortnite news and giving you some funny tweets, or at least I like to think they're funny sometimes. But definitely go ahead and hit me up if you aren't already. I'll link it down below. And be sure to pop my supporter creator code in if you're ever buying any V-Bucks to help support the channel. Everything I earn from there goes directly back in so I can do more giveaways like I just did in this video and help you guys out in the long run. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.